working out. You know, my hair's growing, feeling better. And then it's time to remove my port. And this was in August. Yeah, August of 2019. I went to remove my port. She did my surgeon, my oncologist, did a breast exam. And on my left side, she felt another lump. And that's when you're like, oh shit, like, not again. Like, I should have removed my boobs. Like, I should have done all the surgeries. Like, what the heck. But she was like, don't panic. It might not be nothing, yada, yada. You know, you have really dense breast. I'm like, seriously, you're going to tell me not to worry about just the shitty year I've had? Like, obviously, I panicked. She went ahead and still removed the port because I was like, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing. I'm going to remove this port because I'm not ever going to go through that ever again. So she removed it, scheduled me for an ultrasound, which I got an ultrasound on both the breast, and then I ended up getting a biopsy on the left lump that she found. It came back inconclusive. Eliana's crying. It came back inconclusive, and she was like, okay, we weren't able to get enough specimen or whatever, so we could either keep monitoring it with ultrasounds and see how it goes, or we could surgically remove it and biopsy it like that. So I was like, just take it out, yada yada. So I got the surgery in August. I think it was like the 13th of August. Got another lumpectomy. They took out that lump. It turned out to be just a cyst. There was nothing wrong with me. August and September time, my armpit on my left side swelled up. And when I mean swelled up, was like uncomfortable to close my arm. Like, my armpit and my arm would touch. And I would sit there and play and push, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why is my armpit swollen? I went back to the doctors, and I was like, something's wrong. My armpit is swollen. They went back to saying it was due to the surgery. They're like, you know, once you get there, you start poking stuff around, moving things around. It looks like it might be a swollen lymph node due to surgery. And I was like, okay, so what do I do about it? Like, will it go away? They're like, eventually it will sort itself out and it will start draining back again and it should go down. But I was like, you think it's a lymph node, or like, are you sure? So I ended up having them do a ultrasound. And at that time I got ultrasound on both the breast and on the armpit. And this was in September of 2019. I don't remember the exact date, but they did an ultrasound. I do remember October 3rd, because we were getting ready to PCS October 15th. Move October 15th, like drive to Wisconsin to go visit family on October 15th. So I seen her October 3rd, and she looked at my ultrasound and said, it's a swollen lymph node. It doesn't look funny. It looks like it has fatty deposits around it, but it looks good. And he's like, it should sort itself out. And I was like, okay. We moved from California. We drove from California to Nebraska to see a friend there. From Nebraska to Wisconsin, and stayed in Wisconsin for like 2 to 3 weeks. So from October to November 3rd, we stayed there. Visited family. My armpit was still swollen, but I was able to feel more of the swollen lymph node now. Like I could feel this swollen lymph node, and it felt like a ball. And I kept telling Ben, like, hey, like, this isn't normal. This hurts. Like, why is it a solid mass now? Like, I could feel it. But at that point, I was like, I need to trust my doctors. I need to stop freaking myself out, because after you get a diagnosis like cancer, every little ache in your body, you literally sit there and you're like, man, my arm hurts. Like, do I have cancer in my arm? Like, any little thing. I swear to you, that was me all the time. My hip hurts, man. I got cancer. Like, so I was like, I can't stop. I need to stop living like that. Like, I just seen the doctors. They said I was okay. I'm okay. Like, it's just a swollen lymph node. It will eventually go away. We drove back on November 3rd of 2019. We drove to Indiana to visit a friend, and then from Indiana to Ohio to stay with other friends, and then from Ohio to Virginia Beach, where we're gonna live for 5 years. Swear to you guys, like, Virginia was it for us. Like, I was so excited to move here. I was like, it's gonna be a new adventure where, you know, grow with my family, be healthy, live by the beach, enjoy the summers. Like, you guys have no idea how excited I was for this move. We moved into our house November 8th. Yeah, November 8th, and then, you know, you move, and then you get your stuff, and you're unpacking, and you're buying stuff for your home, and you're busy, and all of a sudden Thanksgiving comes around, and I ended up taking a nap on Thanksgiving Day. We have a friend here that we met in California, and she invited us with her friends to have Thanksgiving dinner. And I remember taking a nap, waking up. I was feeling really tired. Taking a nap, we ended up going to this dinner, and I reach over and feel my shoulder, and I was like, at this point, like, my armpit isn't swollen anymore, but I do feel this swollen lymph node that, you know, was keeping my armpit, you know, swollen. But by this time it's November, and I'm feeling this, like, my shoulder is swollen. And I was telling Ben, I'm like, can you look at my shoulders? Like, does it look swollen to you? And he was like, no, babe, your shoulder isn't swollen. Like, at this point, like I said, you know, any little thing, and you just start thinking the worst. And I think at this point, Ben gets annoyed every time I'm like, hey. He was like, no, your shoulder isn't swollen. And then I remember telling my friend, like, hey, can you feel this?